for a Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord mod, I am not over exaggerating. This is truly so impressive, and of course this is the Warhammer mod for Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. This is the Old Realms, and this is the Season of Doom update. Inside of this update we have two brand new factions, the Wood Elves and kind of like an offshoot of the Wood Elves, which are much more representative of the elves from Old One, so much more high elf-esque. They come with brand new troops, new scenes, new career systems with the Spellsinger, Waywatcher, and Greylord. We have brand new armors for all of them factions. We have brand new resources for each individual faction, which will allow you to unlock higher tier soldiers, as well as obtain powerful bonuses. The High Elf-esque faction has this really cool mechanic where you kind of pick between the Phoenix King Envoy and the Witch King Envoy. One allows you to kind of summon these hordes of Drukhari slaves, and the other one is much more allowing you to recruit like Sea Elves and Ulthuan Marines. There are brand new career systems with the Empire Warrior Priests of Ulrich, a Wizard one, a Witch Elf one. The new career systems inside the Vampire counts allows you to play as the bloodline of Nakarak. I butchered that, but it basically comes with its own amazing cool custom skin model. The Knights of Muslon also have their brand new career system, so if you guys want to play as a Fallen Knight of Bretonnia, you can do that. And we've had plenty of revamps. I think half of the old career systems have also been completely revamped. As I mentioned, the other factions also have their very own version of that resource. So the Wood Elves have Harmony, the kind of higher elves have Council Favor, the Vampire counts have Dark Energy, Bretonnia has Chivalry, and the Empire has Prestige. The previous Master Engineer questline has been completely revamped and has now basically been split into tiers, which you will progress through, and as you progress through, you'll get access to better weapons. So you'll start off with basic guns, then you'll unlock rifles, blunderbusses, then you'll unlock repeaters and mortars, and then finally cannons and grenades. They've implemented a brand new hireling system, which is basically serve as a soldier, so you can now go to any faction in the game, join up with them, and as long as you're with them for 20 days, you're free to leave whenever you want. Companions can now take over certain tasks such as engineering. Previously, you'd always have to grind your engineering pretty hard to get access to cannons. Well, now you can just go and get a companion and he'll go and sort out for that stat, which is a really nice way of doing it. On top of that, that works with necromancy when you're trying to raise dead, and spell slingers when you're trying to get dryads into your force. New laws of magic have been added with the law of metal and the high elf magic, and oh boy is their brand new magic interface just absolutely beautiful. On top of that, we also have two brand new raiding factions. We have the Druki, which are of course the Dark Elves and Norscan Raiders, and they look incredible. And finally, for the highlights, we also have Brass Keep being implemented. This is a chaos faction which is permanently at war with everyone, and again their keep looks absolutely incredible. And all of this was just simply the highlights. There's so much more to experiment with. Did I mention that the map has expanded massively? I don't think I have either. The map is now humongous. They filled out the rest of Bretonnia, basically all of the Empire before Kislev, and obviously they've implemented the Wood Elves, so Afu-Loren has now been completely fleshed out, and the other world routes that are scattered around, you'll find yourself with elven colonies. So yeah, I was definitely not over exaggerating when I was saying that this update is absolutely humongous. So now let's actually dive in and take a look a little bit in more detail, the stuff we were just talking about, and maybe some of the stuff we haven't just talked about. So of course, as I said, we have two brand new cultures that you can play as. Unfortunately, you can't play as the Dark Elves or Norska. Them cultures are not in this update, but I'm sure that'll be the focus going forward. So as you guys can see, we also have the Wood Elves, and as I mentioned, kind of like the offshoot of the Wood Elves that think they're better than everybody else, and they are much more of the Old One style, so much more from like, you know, the Tyrion style elves. So let's dive in. We'll take a look first off at the Wood Elves, and again, you guys can see they do also have custom faces for these guys, different colors as well that you can pick from for the skin. And then when you obviously go in, you'll be able to pick up your faction, kind of choose where you come from. Again, this is not the armor, but you guys get a little glimpse at some of the armors. It looks absolutely incredible, right? One thing as well I really like is that it actually tells you now in the character creation the type of stuff. Again, this stuff doesn't really make sense to you until you've played a couple of the campaigns. But this is going to be like your starting bonuses with that special resource I was talking about earlier. So we'll start with that one. And then right here as well, it also tells you what career you're going to start with as well, which I think is really important because a lot of the times people weren't sure what career system they were going to get when they dived into the game. So right now you can kind of pick between these ones and it would basically tell you. So we'll go with the Waywatcher to begin with. And here we are on the campaign map. And as I mentioned, it is absolutely glorious. Like the amount of detail that has been implemented. You guys just see the true scale of the map now. All of this stuff to the north has been added. Everything over here in the Empire has been implemented. Just look at how vast this campaign map is. Like literally all of this terrain, all of this extra stuff has been added, and it just looks absolutely incredible. Like if we turn off the UI for a second, I mean, just a look at everything. It looks so good. The attention to detail just throughout this map, there's just so many places that you can go to and just be absolutely blown away with the level of detail. I mean, look at the Oak of Ages right here. It looks so good. It also looks amazing at nighttime as well. And every like bit of territory feels so unique. You really do get the vibe of each faction when you go into their lands. They've done an absolutely amazing job with the lighting, and it's just, yeah, really impressive to see this level of detail being added. So honestly, it's hard to know where to start, but I guess let's first things first. Let's take a quick brief look at some of the units for the Wood Elves. Again, there are several other ones that you can pick up through that special resource, which you guys can see. I can't actually show you right now, but you can see right down here is now calculated the Forest Harmony. This is a resource that you'll be building up and you'll be gaining special bonuses the further you go. But again, we'll take a look at these units in actual battle momentarily, but I think for now we'll just kind of get a little glimpse of the units. I mean, look how insanely detailed this armor is. This could literally be a lord right here rather than just an individual soldier. And the Wood Elf unitary, of course, is what you're expecting. It's going to be a lot of archers. They're going to have pretty incredible bow skill, athleticism. That's going to be their main focus, and having a lot of archers, I think, in this army is going to be really, really important. Whereas just having some of these, you know, eternal wardens holding the line, whilst your cavalry, your horse archers, everything else just hits them. And of course, you have access to Treeman and other units that you'll be getting through that favor. As I mentioned though, this Forest Harmony is going to be really important, and again, every faction has their own unique one. So as you guys can see right now, we actually are currently unbound. We need to build up this resource to start improving it. Right now we get plus 30, and of course there are plenty of other ways to actually go and improve this, and the more binding we improve, the better stats we'll get. Right now we currently have our health reduced, we currently have our health regeneration reduced, and our winds of magic. As you can probably guess though, as we become more bound to the forest, them stats are going to completely go up. You can also see we currently have a symbol activated, and that is the Treekin symbol. And that symbol is basically going to reduce our harmony upkeep by 50%, but increase our elven wages by 25%. And that, you know, the harmony resource is going to be spent on special units. So if we actually go to the Oak of Ages, and again, I just can't get over how good this looks, but if we get over to the Oak of Ages, you can see we can actually go and do some stuff. So for example, we could go ahead and take some tree spirits. They have non-spawned yet because we're at the beginning of the game. This is going to be where you're going to be able to get your dryads, your treemen, etc., and you're going to be spending this, you know, this Forest Harmony resource to get them and also maintain them. And that's the same for any faction. I think the Empire, to get stuff like Knights of the Blazing Sun or getting Demigryph Riders, you're going to have to use that prestige resource to go ahead and maintain them and get them. On top of that though, we can also use the world routes. So again, we can spend Forest Harmony to basically transport ourselves around the map, and as well as heal them because they can be destroyed. So again, how cool is that? We can basically teleport around using the world routes. And then finally, we can change our symbol right now. So as you guys saw, we have the one that gives us better kind of, you know, treeman, etc. upkeep, but we could also change it to increase our party size by 50%. That seems insane in the late game. There's one that makes us heal a lot faster, and I think this one, the magical chalk, also lets us basically just do more spells, and you can just remove it as well if you don't want the debuff but you don't want to change over. So this new system is really cool. One of the other things they've also done with regards to religion in the game is you can now actually see your blessing. This was again something I was always like, I get this blessing but I don't actually know what it does or things like that. So if we do pray to the gods of the Wood Elf right there, you'll now see right here how many days we have the duration for, so, and also the actual bonus. So right now we've got all ranged troops in the party deal 10% extra physical damage. Pretty goddamn good. I guess the next thing to look at is these awesome brand new scenes. I think what I'm going to do with the video is just do each faction individually and then overview things as well. So we'll just do all the Wood Elf stuff and then we'll move over to the High Elf stuff. So the High Elves as well are situated, I think, up here in the north near Marienburg. Yeah, look how awesome Marienburg looks as well. But yeah, this is where like the kind of High Elf settlements are set up here, which again looks absolutely awesome. But yeah, let's take a look at the Wood Elves really quickly. So let's first off, I guess, take a look at their overall settlements as well. And again, I believe that all of these are actual siege scenes as well. But yeah, look at this. How awesome is this, man? It's just so beautiful to see the amount of detail I got in your guards up here. And again, I really hope they do find more ways. I always say this in implementing and forcing you to actually come to these places. I think it's really cool if they can manage to do that. And just sieging these as well, I think will be really, really fun to actually go in. And I can't wait to burn the forest down after I've maybe done a playthrough or two on the Wood Elves. On top of that, though, they of course also... Oh, hello. Hello, good sir. They also have their own keep scenes as well. And I mean, just look at that detail, man. It's just so impressive. So this is going to be the keep scene that they have. The Wood Elf ones maybe aren't as vast as the vampire counts or some of the other factions, but again, you just don't need it. Like, this looks incredible, and you know, the detail put in on these is just so impressive. There has also been a couple more battle maps being implemented in as well, so you'll be able to find them for yourselves. Just new custom battle maps that make you feel like you are fighting in a different world than just Calradia is always important. So we also have new career systems, as I mentioned. So we have the Waywatcher and the Spellsinger, as well as the Grey Host or something like that for the High Elves. And as I mentioned, these career systems are probably my favorite part of this mod. I think my favorite part of any Bannerlord mod, just full stop, because they make every single campaign feel so unique and different. I remember playing with the Blood Knights, and I was just recruiting Blood Knight units and improving them, and it just felt so special, like I was actually, you know, I was actually a Blood Knight and leading them. And when I played as the Warrior Priest of Sigmar, and I wasn't just getting like the same units as a generic Empire Lord, I was focusing in on these holy units and improving them, because you get so many bonuses for specific units in these trees, and it was just such a cool, interesting experience. And again, I think that's one of the reasons why Bannerlord sucks so much, is because every campaign feels the same, whether you're playing Sturgia, Biazrai, Valandia, like, it just all feels the same, whereas this makes every campaign feel so much different, because you're getting different bonuses and improving and weakening and getting, you know, units to do certain things that they shouldn't necessarily be able to do. It was just really awesome. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is the Waywatcher one. Their special ability is Arrow of Coronus, and it basically is just this massive damage shot, so you'll be able to basically snipe out enemy lords, you'll be able to snipe out powerful monsters or, you know, heavy like Blood Knights and stuff with this ability very, very effectively. And you start off in a pretty good situation, so you can now upgrade this. For example, the early tiers of this will be about improving your ability to move and shoot. You'll be able to reduce wages of your soldiers, and I like that, because it's like building up. You don't get these crazy bonuses early on. These are just kind of like, yeah, it incentivizes you to play with more range units, and that's, you know, that's about it in these early stages, right? You know, oh, you get a better arrow. Some of these are more focused around you in general, or some of these are more focused around your party. And I believe they've also changed it so you get less career points now as well, so you're going to be a bit more focused on your build. You're not going to be able to get everything like you previously could. And again, as I mentioned, you know, some more, you know, enemies suffer more magical damage for 10 seconds when you use your ability. So again, you can stack this with your spellcasters and other units. And when you get more into like the tier 2 ones, which are more about like your damage, again, you get way more arrows. Your attacks unwaver enemies add 50% more damage, which is really, really incredible. You also improve your special ability as you continue to go on. Headshots double the fill, which is incredible. So again, you're just getting access to this arrow way more regularly. Hawkeye, yeah, the final Hawkeye ability is incredible. So all enemies in the area are slowed on impact. So again, this arrow will hit and it will slow everybody, allowing the rest of your arrows just to keep on zooming in. Like, that's pretty goddamn impressive. And the other one, again, the enemies suffer an AoE overtime debuff to them. You also get improved swing speed as well, and arrows can penetrate shields. That's pretty good. And then the final one, when you unlock it at clan rank 4, you go and obtain this amazing ability where all your archers gain 50 points in their bow skill, which allows them to shoot so many more times. Arrows can pierce multiple targets. The effect of your arrows is now doubled, so your special shot, your Arrow of Kronos, and that obviously stacks with all the other abilities. And then finally, the arrow no longer seeks the enemy, but it does double the damage. So again, just some crazy stuff. It definitely does feel like the Waywatcher one is more about you you as an archer rather than your army, whereas something like the Warrior Priest of Sigma is about just buffing up all of your flagellants to do crazy damage. Same with the Blood Knights as well. It's about getting Blood Knights in your army. So there's a nice little difference there between, you know, buffing the army and improving the type of units you're using, and also just making you into like this killing machine. There's like a difference in the career systems, which is cool. Okay, so I've got myself into a little battle with the new Norscan Raiders, and you can see again, they look really good, alright? Like the tattoos, the bodies and stuff, really impressive with the extra updates. So let's dive in and take a look at the Wood Elf units, and then we'll jump into the more High Elf-esque units right here. I mean, just take a look at the units. Like, the Wood Elves look incredible. Their Treeman units are so impressive. The detail in these stumps is... Oh, wait. No, sorry. I was looking at the wrong ones. Right here. Yeah, look at the Treeman units. They look absolutely incredible, along with the Dryads. Imagine these bad boys. So, again, these guys are going to be all unlocked with the special resource that you're going to obtain right there, the Forest Favor. And, again, you also have the Dryad units as well as the other really, really beautiful units right there. I try to get basically kind of more of the higher tier stuff, because I'm sure that's what you guys want to see. You also, of course, have the Wild Riders right here as well. Look at them double-edged weapons as well. Oh, goddamn beautiful. So again, if we dive into the battle again, you guys can see a little bit more close up and personal. If we get rid of the UI, some of the archers, again, I imagine these Wood Elf archers just absolutely tear anybody apart there. And you can see just how large the Treemen actually are. Like, they definitely do feel it. Again, looking absolutely incredible. Oh yeah, I can show you this as well right now, the new interface as well for magic. So this is going to be for your special ability as well as with magic. So you're going to be able to use basically this new curse wheel to select the different spells you want to cast. Like, how awesome and impressive is that? It's like such a small change, but it's so much better than what they had previously, when you had to like tab through all the different like kind of things to find the one you want. And this is going to be the same with battle prayers and everything. You're going to basically be able to press Q, select the one you want to do, obviously, and then just start casting it with, you know, with a certain hit of a button. We can also get a glimpse of some of the Norscan units as well. Just going to be like heavily armored, you know, decent warriors, good stats, nothing too crazy, but again, they look great, they fit the role, and until they do like a proper Norscan update when Norscan gets added as a faction, you know, this is perfect right now. I'll also say as well, if you can listen quietly, I'll shut up, there's actually custom voices as well when you give commands.
Take that position. Take that position.
Which is cool, you know, it's a nice little just improvement update. So let's pick up some archers and let's fire them off. So I'm interested to see just like kind of how much damage these archers can do. Obviously hitting shields and stuff is going to be a little bit of a pain, but yeah, firing off these arrows, getting stuck in is going to be really, yeah, already kind of fighting the gaps. This is going to be some of, you know, the strength that you're going to be using with these archers, just shooting them in, just doing damage, picking away, breaking shields. Yeah, it's going to be obviously what the Wood Elves are all going to be about, and they just need to basically have enough armor to hold them. So now let's bring up the infantry. I want to see what the Treemen are going to be capable of as well. So let's charge in the infantry right there. As I said, I want to see just how these bad boys react. Oh, there's cool custom animations for them as well. Oh, that is amazing. Keep in mind, these Treemen are like literally the best units you can get for the Wood Elves. So, and they also stagger as well. Oh my god, the custom animations look incredible. Oh man, that is so impressive. Like, I am literally just blown away with the level of detail these guys have. Oh yeah, this is also something special as well, is you can now also see the different stats of a unit as well. So you can see, for example, the Great Stag Knights actually have a damage resistance, and it shows in here, so you can actually see, okay, this is how much damage they do, this is how much health they have, and also their damage resistance. And that's going to be quite important later on when you start buffing your units and, again, going down the career path of certain factions. You'll actually be able to see how much damage reduction they have. It is, oh my god. So you can also see we also obtained some Forest Harmony for winning that battle as well. We do have some more upkeep because of the amount we did just, yeah, the amount of treatment I just cheated into my army. They're still so impressive. So now let's switch over again. Look how beautiful that looks. Now let's switch over to the High Elves so I can show you guys a bit more about them. Okay, so here we are with the offshoot of the Wood Elves, which are much better than everybody else. You know, they're like the, hey, I'm I'm not a Wood Elf, I'm a High Elf wannabe. But yeah, these guys look incredible, and you can obviously see all their architecture looks very, very different. The type of units they can recruit are also, as I mentioned, very, very different. Much more resembling of the High Elves of Ulf 1 rather than anything else. Some really cool looking weapons and armors. those, and they're going to be, yeah, as I said, very, very different. They also have access to different career systems. So of course I've chosen the magic one. We start, I think, always with the high magic, and then we also get to pick it when you start as one of these guys, wherever you want to be. They of course have their own career system as well. So this is the Grey Lord Wizard right there, and they get access to a mind control ability, and they'll obviously expand up, getting different stuff right here. You can see City Born troops, which is the troops that we get access to, get insane resist. Like this is more of a buffing thing, whereas the Waywatcher was much more of you being a mad lad going around killing everything, whereas this is much more about buffing your army. You can see gaining fire resistance, which is pretty important, having good resistances, because magic in this game, especially the AI, when the AI uses magic, they just shoot stuff down and they just don't really care if it hits friendly. You know, they're like Ramsay Bolton, so being able to buff your soldiers to kind of almost negate that is important. But also when you fight enemy lords such as the vampires and stuff, you know, the Empire, you're going to need these resistances in your army because magic is super powerful. You can see again, this increases your winds of magic, and again you have better chances of controlling more people. So for example, your control chance is higher, it will affect more people, and then as you progress through to a final, again you can when you do overtake people, you can regenerate your winds of magic, you increase your fire damage. Like these are your end game stuff, but it's really cool. By the time you hit this point anyway, you're kind of like done with your campaign. You've generally kind of done what you wanted to do, so it kind of does make you feel like, you know, when you do hit level 20 in D&D or something, you feel like that end game Chad, and you know, you might think some of this stuff is really OP, but honestly, you know, by the time you hit clan rank 4 anyway, you kind of want to feel like that god among men. As I mentioned as well, they all have their own custom scenes. So if we go to the tavern here for these guys, you can see, just look how beautiful this looks, man. Like absolutely incredible scenes right here that someone's come in and created this. Like this is Bannerlord. It looks beautiful. Then if we go to the actual city itself, again, you guys can get a nice little glimpse of this. And again, these are siege scenes as well, so you can siege these castles. You can see how they would work with the elves. I mean, I wouldn't recommend sieging the elves, but look at this. Like, look at that fallback position back there, and these other. And of course, we also have the keep scene as well. There seems like there's a little bit of a bug right here as well, with everybody kind of arriving here, but still looking cool. And I mean, just yeah, look how impressive this is. I know I keep on just saying like how beautiful this update is, but I mean it is. It's, oh my god, like how is this still Bannerlord? It just looks absolutely insane. Oh yeah, something as well that I haven't shown off yet as well is they've redone a lot of the Empire campaign map as well, so you can see Altdorf looks completely different to what it did look like as well, which again just looks awesome. I mean, even at night time, this just looks so impressive. So let's quickly, before we do dive into a battle with the new units from the High Elves, I also want to show off the Brass Keep as well. So as I mentioned, Brass Keep is going to be a brand new faction situated up here. It's a Chaos faction that is at war with everybody, and you'll obviously have to deal with them. But again, their new castle looks really cool. So let's just go cinematic mode, dive battle. So again, this is just a Bretonian castle, so I like what they've done here. Again, they can't create hundreds upon hundreds of custom settlements, but what they can do is they can go and change a pre-existing one, add new like color to them, and add like this rot to it. Like, it's perfect. There's no need to create a new one when these ones do previously work. You can see these Chaos Patrol guys moving around over. It's more Norscan, but yeah, again, but just kind of adding this kind of flavor to it, I think is really good. Look at these Norscan dudes just hanging out, you know, just being boys. He's telling them, have you heard about, you know, our Lord and Savior, the Unclean One? And he's just so amazing, just like this mod is so amazing. But yeah, just like with like look at them moving tentacles up there as well. It just adds an atmosphere to it, you know, and the mist. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say about this. Oh yeah, and obviously also you have the world routes as well. I didn't show that off with the Wood Elves, but you go and basically visit them. They're scattered around, and as someone who is not a Wood Elf, I can only travel to certain places, and this will cost me my council favor as well, the resource down here in the bottom right. They will allow me to teleport, and again, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world to be able to get around. I don't know if the other factions, I mean, I doubt the Empire and Bretonians can use it, but still kind of cool that I still can. Oh yeah, as I mentioned as well, the Drukhari are here as well, so you can attempt to drive them away. You also have the Drukhari leaders here as well, so they are their own faction. You just can't play as them, so they are a bit different. I mean, again, look how incredible that armor is, man. Ah, so awesome. Really is. So you can also sell prisoners to them as well, which is kind of cool. I like that. But you can just dive in and fight them. Okay, so here we are on the battle map again. This is a custom battle map, a nice little open plain on the Jakari landing. You'll be able to actually storm and have like a battle of Normandy or something. But yeah, I wanted to show off some of the units that we have access to as the more like high elf style faction. Again, just our archers, the armor looking very good with the cone heads, the infantry again forming a nice little shield wall would be pretty cool. That line, besides the crappy militia that I've for some reason got in my army, look incredible. Oh yeah, I also grabbed as well some of the knights of the White Wolf as well, so you're going to see some heavy cavalry from the Cult of Ulrich, and also show off again some of the Jakari as well. So some of the Jakari, I've been playing too much 40k. Yeah, some of the Dark Elf units. Look at how big our horses as well as they move forward. Again, with Dark Elves in their thick breastplates. A little bit of an issue with their armors and their legs and stuff. But again, I'm sure that'll be fixed. And you can see their boats as well off on the battle map. And finally as well, if you want to change between spells as well, you can do so very easily. Oh my gosh, I just did so much damage to my own units. But yeah, again, you can kind of really just start casting these spells and obviously sticking them down as your abilities charge. And again, kind of whip that out, choose to throw it, and then you just go back to normal. Like, it's just such an easy system to go and mess around with, especially when you're casting multiple bits of magic. This is really nice. Oh yeah, and this is, by the way, how you spend your resources as well. You need to find like the envoy to the Phoenix King, for example. You can go to him and then talk to him, and you'll be able to obviously improve your relations. You can ask for more troops to be sent, etc. Again, you're going to be able to find these. So again, the other ones just go to the Oak of Ages, whereas this one you're going to need to find the specific characters, which is pretty important. Again, envoy to the Witch King as well. So for example, if you want to speak to Malekith, again, you'd go this way and you'd talk to him. I'd provide prisoners, etc. to gain favor, and that's how you would approach it. So again, I like the system that they've done there, and you also get to visit these amazing scenes. As well as that, also obviously to get more magic as well, you'd have to go to these specific people, and you'd obviously want to learn more magic from them, and you'll be able to buy. You can see all the different laws of magic now as well. And again, with the new UI, you can totally use tons of magic and become like a proper spell slinger, just firing out magic left, right, and center. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna wrap up the video. This is such a long one, but this update is so huge. Like, I didn't even cover like all the new additional Bretonnian changes with King Leoncoeur being added in finally, and the beautiful detail being added up there, like all the new factions up here, all the different career systems for the Empire, the Vampire counts. This video will be like an hour long if I do that. The improvements to like firing and the null and stuff. Oh yeah, also as well, Chaos can now take over towns and corrupt them, so you'll see Chaos factions spawning on the campaign map now, which is something I've always wanted. So yeah, towns will start falling to Chaos as well if you're not careful, and you have to go shut them down. There's so much. This update is huge, and definitely a new reason to reinstall Bannerlord. So this update comes out, I believe, in a couple weeks. They are currently just doing their final testing, making sure they fix any major bugs that are going to be plaguing the game, so that you guys can have a good experience. Are also still required as well to build the shader cache. So I know a lot of people get kind of frustrated with that, but honestly, you do it once, I mean, you never have to do it again. You're going to see, like, I've been going into some towns and it's been like, oh, we've been loading shaders. But once you do it once, you literally never have to do it again. So I think it's the least you can do is, like, you know, bear to sit around for a couple minutes. Also, something to mention as well, again, when you first load up the game, it will take a while to load whilst it processes everything, but it's always just the first time you do it, it's gonna take a while to load. It's gonna take a little while to kind of figure stuff out, but once you've done it, and again, it will just load normally the first time. After the first time, it will then start loading normally. So again, be patient, load up the game. As long as it doesn't crash, just leave it, come back to it, and it'll be done. And then again, when you load up the first time, it'll be done. Same with the shader caches as well. Once you've done all that, it'll be done. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the update down below in the comments. As I mentioned, this will be out, I believe, in the next couple of weeks, so keep your eyes peeled. If you guys want to see a let's play on this, then obviously drop a like, drop a comment, let me know. And as I say, if this video gets, I don't know, like 400 likes, we'll do a brand new campaign playing as the Wood Elves, raising armies of treemen and shooting bows. Oh, it'll be so much fun. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.